Hi, I'm Tony Fleming, and this is Fleming's Ultimate Garage. Thanks for joining us on today's video. I'm happy. You know why I'm happy? Because you are watching this video with me, and I really appreciate that. And we are looking at one cool car. Everybody has their flavor. Some people are Ford people, Chrysler people, GM people, Isuzu people, all kinds of people. It just depends on kind of what you grew up. I kind of grew up as a Mopar flavor. My first car was a green Volkswagen, and then finally, after working for a little while, I finally got a green Challenger. I don't know what it is with green, but man, I dig this color. This color reminds me so much of like this AAR Cuda that we had, and a bunch of Limelight Challengers or Sublime Cudas. Got them backwards or whatever, but you know what I'm saying. Anyway, great color cars. This car right here is bad A. We're talking about almost 500 rear wheel horsepower, okay, with a dyno sheet. Now the reason why that a lot of times people use the 5.7 liter Hemi and not the 6.2 liter Hemi, and most people don't know this, is a lot of the internals of the 5.7 are stronger. For instance, most people don't know that the Hellcat engine is the previous generation Hemi and not the 6.4, and the reason why is because it has a much stronger bottom, the rotating mass down at the bottom is much stronger bottom end. It can withstand the power and things like that. So when you say, well, this is not an SRT, well, let me just tell you what, this is way more than an SRT, because you're absolutely right. It's not an SRT, it's an SRT plus, and it comes with the shaker, which you can't get on the SRT, right? When we filmed this video, you couldn't get it then. This right here alone is worth the reason to buy the car. There is no better hood scoop, no better performance hood, there's no better anything on a car than a shaker hood, especially when you're rolling down the road and you get on a little bit and the shaker rocks around, or when it's cold it's shaking like it's supposed to, because this right here versus most other performance hoods is bolted to the engine, not part of the hood system. So whatever the engine's doing, it's doing as well. And when we open up, you're going to see the fasteners, and then they're all nice and stainless, and this custom hood that's done here as well. So let's take a minute, let's look around and see what you're getting. This thing has 3 pages of options on it. I'm not going to go over the whole thing with you. You can read that on the website. But as I walk around, I just wanted you to see some of the expensive pieces. This right here, in between $3,000 and $4,000 by the time you paint it, mount it, install it, order it, ship it, do all that stuff just for the cold air intake system. Here, great looking set of Rana wheels, right? Wheelwood, 3-piece rotors, a directional, they're vented and cross drilled. This is not a cheap brake system. Color matched calipers. How you doing? Color match calipers. Only here do you get those kinds of things, all right? And we're looking at 20s all the way around. It's got the front spoiler, right? This great slab side on this car. This is such a great modern interpretation of the Challenger. It's awesome. We got the bumblebee stripe here. Petty's Garage call out. Petty's built this car. They build cars for us as well on some other things too. Check out this spoiler. This is not like a rubber spoiler. This is a handmade aluminum piece with these great fasteners designed for a car that makes 600 horsepower, which this car makes around 600 crankshaft horsepower. That's a lot of power, man. And it's got the Barton shifter, which one of the guys here loves the Barton shifter. You know why he loves the Barton shifter in the car? Because it's the same color as the outside. We're going to check that out when we go inside. All right, so let's take a peek at all the menacing goings-ons under the hood here. This just says shark, killer, death. Actually, we found a couple small children in here earlier. We were able to extricate them, and everything turned out to be just fine. But stay away from this, because this sucks in a lot of air, because it needs a lot of air to make a lot of power. Anyway, all kidding aside, the stainless fasteners, like this little stuff like this, you may say, well, Tone, that's just a fastener. What is the big deal? Well, the big deal is that this aluminum collar has to be machined, then the stainless fastener has to be made. All of this comes together to make a quality piece. Every little step along the way, from the brakes to the special wheels, right, to the stripes, to this great strut tower brace here with the chrome caps. They didn't have to put chrome caps on there. No, they didn't have to do that. It's a little step extra. If we look inside the trunk when we go there, you're going to see it has an X brace back there as well to strengthen this car. One other thing that most people don't know about is that the Challenger is built on a Mercedes E-Class platform. And the reason why it's so solid and feels so good is because Daimler, Chrysler, was one unit at the same time. Mercedes owned Chrysler, and that's what they built this car on. And that's why it had an independent rear way before everybody else had an independent rear. And it was a pretty impressive piece. As we walk around here, Superchargers mounted under here, all nice looking, tucked inside there. These polished Petty's Garage valve cover covers, right? It's just super clean in here. It's low mileage. It doesn't need a lot of talking. So part of owning this car is the history that could potentially bring us a car of pretty good value. Richard Petty is a legend. Eventually, unfortunately, one day he's no longer going to be with us, very much like Carroll Shelby. This car is signed. This car is numbered. Okay? It's signed on the dash as well. So this has his stamps all over it. Real original Shelby cars where Shelby had a hand in it, just like Richard Petty's had a hand in this car right here, command a lot more money than a Shelby replica or something like that, or Shelby bolt-on parts. And that's why I say no guarantees, but this potentially could be that car that hits the moon, because Richard Petty, he is legendary. All right, so we got a little button right here. I was pointed out. I got a little lesson. All right, so little stuff like they didn't drill holes in here. We could probably get you a tag bracket for the front if you want to, that mounts inside the tow hook, right? And that way you don't have to drill the bumper. Here are the original floor mats that came with the car, still in the car, like new. The Petty mats are inside there as well. And then you got books. You got the original window sticker. You have the original brochure. We have the owner's manuals. We have all of the little goodies that came with the car. Again, back to documentation and things like that. That's what makes a car have a little bit more value. And just, you know, it's a new car. It's a low mileage, collectible car that you're buying for a lot less money than if you did it yourself, and you don't have to wait, you know, a year to make it ready. All right, so come on in here. This is the updated version of the Challenger. So this is the next generation. So you're getting I stopped because the seat is so far back. That's how much room is in this car. This is a really nice sized car. You could take the kids out, go with another couple to dinner. It's got the power seats on it, power windows. This is the great Barton shifter. I mean, super close. Listen to this thing. Click, click, click. Climate control, the great touchscreen there. Turn this on as well. The dash is awesome, 7,000 RPM, 160 mile an hour speedometer. The interface here. This is nice. Heated steering wheel, heated and air conditioned seats, just all of the little stuff that makes for a really great driving car. And I love the fact that you can have a 600 horsepower car and be comfortable as well. Maybe just cruising like this. If you could do it like this, I don't think you could actually drive like this, but you can look cool while you're doing it. Richard Petty signed dash and Alpine sound system, right? Low mileage and ready to roll. All right, so you're mesmerized by the Sublime green paint, the shaker hood, killer rims, big brakes, right? You forgot to ask me about the suspension. Actually, I forgot to tell you about the suspension, so I'm gonna tell you about that. Coil-overs, upgraded parts underneath as well. So not only does it go fast, not only does it stop, but it handles well, rides well, and things like that. This is a collector car. Someday this car is going to be worth a lot of money, in my opinion. IMHO, right? IMHO, in my humble opinion. And I think that, you know, with modern advances in science and Richard Petty's high level of income, he could live to be 250, 275. But who knows? If it happens sooner than that, then who knows what happens to these. Anyway, it's a great piece of history. It's a great driving car. I'm telling you, man, you won't be disappointed. Call us, 301-816-1000. We'll tell you all about this supercharged Petty Challenger. Ignition. Whoa, how are you doing?